Hello, it's Kevin Benedict, Senior Analyst for Digital Transformation at Cognizant, reporting live this week from Barcelona, Spain, here at the Mobile World Congress. Thank you for joining us. Hello, I'm Kevin Benedict, Senior Analyst for Digital Transformation at Cognizant, and I'm reporting this week from Barcelona, Spain, here at the Mobile World Congress 2014. I have the privilege of spending time here with Spier, who's the Senior Director of Product Marketing for the Big Data Analytics.
There you go.
All right.
Good job.
That's a mouthful.
And mobile.
There. Awesome. So you're in the middle of everything, because whether we're talking enterprise mobility or the Internet of Things, that data comes back. We need to find meaning out of that data.
That's right.
So talk to us about some of the, and especially for the audience that wasn't able to attend this year, what are some of the things you would really like to share with us and those that didn't make it?
I'm happy to share that with you. So you really said the right word, and that's meaning, because what we're trying to do with big data is make it real. We're trying to bring it to life for our customers, and we're trying to help our customers understand the opportunity. If you start to look at all of the data around you, how do you start to leverage that data in your business to not only innovate and come up with new revenue opportunities, and to actually, interact with your consumers in a more real-time and interesting way and understand them better, but how do you optimize your business? How do you start to look at your processes, leveraging data like sensor data and other data that will help you to optimize your business?
So from your perspective, Mimi, does the data all looks the same, whether it comes from a mobile app or from a sensor, doesn't it?
Yeah, you make an interesting point. The data is on the back end, right? And it's about the quality of the data. It's about all of the different types of data. It's about what you do with the data. And then it's about the experience you provide to the person who's using the data. And that's where mobile comes in. It's the lens to big data. It's the way that you interact. It's the way that you can now, with things like SAP HANA, through real-time in-memory platform, you can actually interact with data in real time as it's happening.
Awesome. Can you give us an example of that?
Sure, I'll give you many examples. So, think about retail as one example, and consumers when they shop. And how would you like to be in a shop or in a store? And data can be fed from the video, in the video cameras, so that the people in the store understand in real time what's happening with the shoppers. Where do they hover? Where do they pull in, their products from? What rows do they go down and what aisles versus others? What products are actually being sold at different times of the day by different types of people? And what if you could offer real-time promotions while someone's shopping or while they're walking by the store? That's one example. Predictive maintenance. How do you prevent failure? How do you prevent unscheduled maintenance? That's another example that's across many industries: utilities, oil and gas, telco. Sports. Sports is the newest industry, leveraging big data and leveraging all sorts of data like you've never seen before. Fan experience apps, the ability for coaches to use data in many different ways to help their team perform better and help them train better, are just a couple examples of sports.
I'm thinking about Moneyball as you're talking here.
It is like Moneyball, that's right. And we are helping teams like the Offenheim team, the German soccer team, or football, depending on where you're from. We help them to take data from the sensors in shirts and socks and shorts and shoes, and be able to use that data and be able to understand better what players need to perform better, and speed, endurance, how they're interacting with the other players. We also are working with the German national team we are using video footage from games in real time, provided to coaches in a 3D visualization, in an app, where they can see in real time how their players are performing, what areas of the field they might not be capturing or defending or offending properly, and how to better perform during the game, are just
Awesome.
Another example.
And did you have an app there that you wanted to show us?
Sure, I can show you this one app.
If it doesn't go to sleep on us,
let's
there
not
we
let
go.
it go to sleep. So this is the art of a possible. So
Yeah.
think about stadiums. I mentioned retail and I mentioned stadiums. If you think about it, stadiums today have the same challenge as retail, where they're trying to get more people to go to the game and not stay at home and, like retail, shop online or watch games online. And so what they're doing is they're trying to provide a more improved experience And they're leveraging all of the data around them. So think about all the data around a stadium. You've got box office data, you've got season ticket holder data, you've got social media, tweets and Facebook data, you've got occupancy, so when people are not in the stands, you can tell when they're sitting in the stands because of the color changes. So lots of data. I can see, for example, and you can use that data and offer fans a more interesting experience. So imagine going to a game, downloading an app, and being able to order your food online and be able to have it delivered to your seat for an extra $1 or $2. Imagine getting a text message being offered real-time promotions when your team scores, for example. So they can tell home and away visitors, and they send a 20% off promotion for real-time visitors. Imagine if your hot dog is late and you send a tweet, and they pick up that tweet and they capture it, and they can have one-on-one intimate experience with every individual. They know, because you're a season ticket holder, all of this information about you. Your favorite drink is Miller Lite, your average attendance is 92%, and they can actually decide, we're gonna comp the food, send you a text message, and go ahead and actually offer you a seat in the front row, because they know from the box office information that there's no one sitting there during that game.
And they're also gonna make sure that Wi-Fi works inside the stadium, right?
That would be a good thing.
And
so
if only they would add recliners.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
But what's interesting about what you just said is, with all this data, you start to understand the consumer and what they need and what you need to do to improve their experience, whether it be recliners, whether it be building more bathrooms, whether it be building more concession stands. And so the power of data is not only what you can do with it in real time, but it's what you do after the fact to predict your future supply and demand, and to improve your operations for the long term.
So let's move away to one other area that I wanted to cover.
Sure.
So collecting data from whether it be sensors, mobile apps, or anything or online is one thing. Bringing it back in, analyzing, finding the meaning, but then getting it back out to a mobile worker so they can take action or immediate action on it. It's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
So how do you make sure of that? Because it seems like so many companies, their systems are too slow to actually permit the real-time exchange in that context.
Right, so that's really important. So first of all, it requires an in-memory database. We believe that an in-memory platform and having something that happens in real time is absolutely essential to a mobile worker, because you don't want to push on a button and wait 30 seconds for it to come up. You don't want to actually interact with information that's stale or old if you actually need real-time information. So real-time is going to be one aspect of mobile that's important. The other very important perspective is the experience. So you want to have the right experience that an individual interacts with. If I'm a construction worker, I don't want to see a pie chart or a bar graph. I want to see a 3D visualization of my building, and I want to know when a duct or an electricity valve or something goes out, so I can immediately identify it just, with 3D visualization. So it's important to understand what the individual users need. It's important to understand the data that is required to be put into the app so that you can take action, and to have that real-time perspective for those individuals and for the use cases.
Mimi, I want to thank you so much for sharing all this with those that weren't able to make it this year.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It's a pleasure.
Well, that's it for another day here at the Mobile World Congress 2014. I hope you enjoyed it. There's much more to come.